A few months ago, I reviewed College Football 25 and initially gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Shortly after, I released a revision, dropping that score to a 6.5. But let me be clear, a 6.5 is actually a pretty high score coming from me. I usually give Madden a 3 or worse. College Football 25 isn't the most realistic football game, and it doesn't match peak 2K football gameplay, but that's okay. It plays like an evolved version of PS2 and PS3 era EA Sports titles, favoring fun and fluid gameplay over strict simulation. Unlike Madden, which holds the exclusive simulation NFL license, College Football 25 doesn't need to be a pure simulation because it has no exclusive license to justify. It just needed to capture the spirit of college football, be fun to play, and nail the atmosphere. And in those areas, it definitely succeeded. But there's still plenty of room for improvement. From Dynasty Mode depth to AI logic, from quality of life changes to missing features, College Football 25 feels like a solid foundation that could become something special, but it's not quite there yet. With EA already working on College Football 26, I figured now would be the perfect time to break down everything that needs to be added, fixed, or changed to take this series to the next level. We don't want this game to become a yearly roster update like Madden. And since I'm not affiliated with EA in any way, I can be brutally honest here. I just want this game to be as good as possible, and the college football team at EA seems much more receptive to feedback than the Madden team. Let me know in the comments if you agree with these suggestions, or if there's anything I missed that you'd like to see in College Football 26. Let's begin. Let's start with gameplay because that's the foundation of any sports game. College Football 25's gameplay is actually really good. The fast jukes, quick spins, and responsive player movement is what makes the game fun to play. EA absolutely needs to keep this intact. If anything, they should double down on the arcade-like fluidity. This is not Madden. It doesn't need to be a strict simulation. Let competitive players stick to Madden if they want that. College football should be fun first. That said, there are some key areas where gameplay could be improved. Wind should affect passes, not just kicking, just like it did in NCAA 06. And blocking AI needs some serious work. If a player is in position to block someone, they should at least attempt the block. I can't tell you how many times I've watched my blocker completely ignore a defender. Even if they get beat immediately, at least try to engage. The passing game needs some attention too. Currently, 50-50 balls heavily favor the defense. These should be more balanced. I'm not saying every contested catch should be a completion, but I should at least have a fighting chance to moss a smaller corner in a one-on-one situation. Incompletions should be more common than interceptions in these situations. Receivers also need to show more effort, coming back to the ball, diving for overthrows, and actually catching those tipped passes that hit them in the hands. Running the ball feels too scripted right now, especially around the tackles. Edge defenders seem to instantly shed blocks based on the running back's position, no matter how well the tackle is blocking him. The same goes for interior running. Guards get shed instantly too often as well. Instead of scripting these interactions for the sake of online balance, improve the pursuit angle of high-rated defenders to naturally balance the running game. Let's have real trench battles, not predetermined outcomes. The defensive AI needs some work too, particularly with defensive backs. Right now, DBs and linebackers have a sixth sense. They're swatting passes without even looking at the ball. Make it so their head has to be turned to make a play. This is one area where realism actually makes the game more fun, not less. Zone logic could use improvements too. It's too rigid right now. Safeties need to leave their zone sooner when a QB starts scrambling or when there's clearly no receiver in their area. Option plays are basically broken right now. You'll fumble most pitches. This is one area where more scripting might actually help smooth things out. And when it comes to player health, the wear and tear system needs more clear visual indicators. Use different colors for low stamina versus actual wear and tear injuries. The CPU AI needs some serious work on the Heisman difficulty. Right now, CPU quarterbacks are way too conservative. All they do is check down, making 2-minute drills feel boring, easy, and predictable. The AI offense needs to be more dynamic and intelligent, actually taking shots downfield or to the sidelines when the situation calls for it. We also need more variety in coverage schemes on defense. Right now, most plays are either straight man or pure zone, which makes it too easy to predict what the defense is doing. Add more hybrid coverages where 2 or 3 guys are in man while the others play zone. This would add another layer of strategy to both offense and defense, making it less obvious what coverage you're facing pre-snap. Now let's talk about Dynasty Mode, which could be a major strength with some additions. First, coach creation needs a complete overhaul. Give us way more options for clothing, face sculpting, and team-specific gear. If I'm coaching App State, for example, let me choose between the old school and new logos for my hat and gear. Let me pick my colors. This is our chance to really set the tone for our program. The whole coaching structure needs expansion. Give us full coaching staffs all the way down, plus a training staff that actually affects things like wear and tear and fatigue. Let us upgrade facilities, training rooms, weight rooms, practice facilities, everything. As our school grows in popularity and prestige, let us upgrade the campus and stadium too. Practice mode needs work. Let us practice whenever we want, not just during specific weeks. Let Dynasty members set up online scrimmages using their current rosters against other members without impacting stats or injuries. Perfect for testing plays or just having fun between weeks. Add a proper 2-minute drill option so we can practice those crucial situations without manually respotting the ball every single play. Add some form of pregame scouting before a game to create a weekly game plan. The transfer portal needs work too. When we cut a player, they should actually enter the transfer portal instead of vanishing forever. And show us the development traits when we make that decision. Right now, when encouraging transfers, it's way too easy to accidentally cut a 5-star player over a 3-star player just based on overall rating. And formation subs are desperately needed. Commissioners need more control over things like weather. Add the spring game. Fix the custom playbook system so we don't have to manually select it before every game. And speaking of customization, let us add more teams instead of simply replacing existing ones. Give us 150 team slots so we can truly expand college football. Let us customize FCS teams too and add more of them. The stat tracking needs a complete overhaul. Give us full historic stats, award winners, box scores, user game history, everything across every season, accessible at any time. I want to be able to look back at my Dynasty's greatest players and worst busts without having to screenshot everything. And while we're at it, add medical red shirts, the ability to retire jersey numbers, and let us export draft classes to Madden. The recruiting system is solid but needs some tweaks. Big schools should have more options. I shouldn't be stuck with only 2-star tight ends when I'm ranked number 1. And some teams seem to hog all the top prospects in user dynasties. Make it more random by giving each recruit a favorite team that gives a slight boost regardless of the program's current status. Put more weight on playing time and prestige too. The NIL needs to feel more realistic. Give us a money pool based on school prestige that changes yearly based on team success. Having players randomly flip commitments for no reason, just like in real life, would be awesome. Drip feed us recruits throughout the season instead of showing everyone all at once. And give us complete schedule control in user dynasties. With no NCAA license, there's no reason to be so strict about conference rules. Let us manually upgrade players like in Madden, where they earn points we can spend on different attributes. Add a true coaching mode where we call plays but the AI controls the players. Use modern edge rusher terminology instead of making us move linebackers to defensive end. And for the love of God, add long snappers as a recruitable position. Do what Madden never did. Add more dynamic events too. Have players miss games for academic issues or off-field incidents. Make it a big deal when your coordinator leaves for a head coaching job, and make that school an automatic rival. Let us take screenshots in replays by pushing the right stick that show up in the newsfeed like you'd see in Madden. And give commissioners the ability to customize the playoff format. Anything from 2 teams to even 64. Let's break down the other game modes. Road to Glory needs serious attention. First, bring back high school gameplay. Let us earn our way to college. Let us play both ways like Travis Hunter, and let us play any position. Guards, punters, long snappers, everything. The mode needs to feel more like a real college football career, not just a series of games. The progression needs work too. Let us access more of the playbook as well as we improve instead of being stuck with limited plays. Speed up attribute progression when we play well. It shouldn't take 3 seasons to become an 85 when we're breaking records. Add real dynamic storylines throughout each season, and give us a customizable dorm room that we can fill with trophies and gifts from sponsors, visually showing our journey from freshman to legend. Team Builder desperately needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. Instead of a clunky website, put the creation tools directly in the game like you'd see in NBA 2K. Just use the website for uploading custom logos and fight songs. Let us add helmet stickers, captain patches, and actually design our own stadiums from scratch instead of just reskinning existing ones. Let us create our own mascots, pick our rivals, and use these teams in offline modes too. The current system is too restrictive and buggy, but I'm glad it at least exists. Bring back the trophy room. Give us a fully rendered 3D room like the crib in NFL 2K5, showing off every achievement we've earned across all of our game modes. Let us invite friends to check it out and add multiplayer minigames like paper football and air hockey with online support. This would add so much personality to the game. Mascot mode needs to return with at least the features from NCAA 14, but ideally with those multiplayer minigames from older games like NCAA 09 too. Give us something fun to mess around with between Dynasty games. Ultimate Team needs work, but in a different direction. Add a free draft mode like Mutt Draft from Madden 17. No tickets, no currency, just quick team drafting and playing. Fix the matchmaking so 80 overall teams aren't facing 95 overall pay-to-win squads. That just drives people away from the mode entirely. If you're going to have Ultimate Team, at least make it fair and accessible. We need a Classics game mode. Let us replay historic moments like the 06 Rose Bowl with Vince Young. Use the players you already have licensed for Ultimate Team and fill in the rest with generics. There's no reason to keep these legends locked behind a paywall. Add historic stadiums with era-appropriate equipment and field designs. Give us different broadcast packages for different eras, black and white footage with leather helmets for the early days, and proper vintage presentation styles for each decade. You could even add live moments from the current season as they happen. And please, bring back creative play. Let us design our own legal formations and plays. Just restrict it to a commissioner toggle in online dynasties and let us go wild in offline modes. This was a staple feature of EA football games that mysteriously vanished. Bring it back. Now let's talk about presentation because this is where the game could really shine. First, make the time of day actually matter. 3 p.m. games should get darker in the fourth quarter. Let the lighting change between quarters. Give us proper custom weather options like in the old days. Let us choose between light rain, light snow, heavy snow, everything. Game intros need more variety. When you play a full season, seeing the exact same presentation before every home game gets stale fast. Create more camera angles and variations. Make sure whiteouts and colorouts happen naturally and accurately. Let fans storm the field, but only when it makes sense, like after a last-second win in a huge rivalry game. The main menu desperately needs better music. Look at what NCAA March Madness 05 did. They had popular songs from that time covered by school bands with no vocals. That was genius. Or just use fight songs, or license some nostalgic tracks from older games. Just please give us something besides those repetitive drums. Bring back the vaults for saving our classic games. Give us a proper halftime show with highlights, analysis, and scores from other games with real commentary. Add pre- and post-game shows with someone like Lee Corso. Add sideline reporting for injuries and weather updates. Show us sweeping camera shots of campuses to build atmosphere. And make the cheerleaders and fans look less uncanny. 2K5 even gave their cheerleaders physics, and that was 20 years ago. A weekly SportsCenter style show like ESPN NFL 2K5 would be incredible, showing highlights from at least the user games, but EA has never been able to do anything like this. At least give us a proper Around College Football tab in Dynasty showing what's happening with other teams and notable CPU matchups. The current new system is way too basic. Create a second broadcast package with different scoreboard designs and stat overlays to differentiate big games from regular games beyond commentary. Make studio updates feel more like NCAA 14. Focus on getting more lines and genuine excitement from Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Keep building out traditions and authenticity for smaller schools. Add more player customization options like longer hair and dreads. The presentation has a solid foundation but needs that extra layer of polish and depth and authenticity to really capture the college football atmosphere. These changes would go a long way towards making the game feel special. And for the love of Reese Davis, put this game on PC. Add crossplay so Xbox, PlayStation, and PC players can all play together in the same Dynasty leagues. Now obviously, I don't expect EA to implement every single thing I just listed. That would be unrealistic, especially with a yearly development cycle, but the college football team seems different from the Madden team. They actually appear to care about making a good football game, and more importantly, they seem receptive to community feedback. That's why I made this video more constructive than critical. College Football 25 gave us a solid foundation to build upon. The gameplay is fun, the presentation captures the college football atmosphere, and there's genuine potential here. If they can implement even half of these suggestions, College Football 26 could become something really special. It all comes down to what's possible with the current development team and timeline. But unlike with Madden, where suggestions often feel pointless since EA seems determined to do the bare minimum, I actually have some faith that the college football team wants to make the best game possible. They've proven they can deliver something enjoyable. Now let's see if they can take it to the next level. Let me know in the comments if you agree with these suggestions or if there's anything else you'd like to see in College Football 26. Thanks for watching.